There's a there's an old saying that goes something like, never has so much been said by so many who know so little, right? And I thought that we would apply it today to Bruce Lee and his art and philosophy of Jeet Kune. It's a quote from somewhere, but I couldn't find the original source. In any case, we're going to take a kind of a news of the day look at the phenomenon of social media commenting and the art of Jeet Kune. Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Rebel, and welcome to the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast number 107. This is the one about you and your level of Jeet Kune. So as you're logging in, if you'd be kind enough to say where you're logging in from and hit the like button and continue to do so throughout the broadcast. I am not sure if I'm actually live on the Facebook, but we will plug on through and see how it goes. All right, so some of the things that I like to do with like really big mouth people, right, who have a lot to say about Bruce Lee and Jeet Kune. Some of the things I like to ask them questions like, well, when were you born? Or what reading or research have you done on Bruce Lee and Jeet Kune? And even sometimes, like, how much Jeet Kune training have you actually done? And you'd be shocked. I mean, I am. You might not be, but I'm shocked at how many people are not, they're not even cognizant. They're not aware of the fact that they're commenting on someone who pioneered an era in martial arts 5 decades ago, and who passed away in many instances more than 20 years before they were even born, right? So that does not register with them at all. What also does not register is that having read, I swear to you, this is what I was told just a few days ago, having read most of his book, right? That's what the guy said. He had read most of his book. I'm not sure what he was talking about, right? Or people who have taken a class or who have attended maybe one seminar or so, or sometimes even none of that. Somehow, magically, they think that that still qualifies them to opine on Jeet Kune. It's a fascinating thing, right? I especially like the ones who think that it is within the pages of the Tao of Jeet Kune that's where you go to learn Bruce Lee's style, right? That's another one that that I come across on almost a day-to-day basis. So something that I noticed recently, you know, we were doing this thing called the martial arts challenge, and you know, in some cases you put up like retrospective photos of your martial art journey. And I realized that people really seem to dig the photographs that show like the old days of especially the Kali Academy. And a little while ago, the guys at Bruce Lee is the Only Dragon, they put up, let me see if I can bring it up here. They put this photo up. And that started a whole little discussion. Somebody was asking where it's dated from or something, and Steve had said that he figured it was the late 80s. So I jumped in and said, no, it kind of looks like the era of the Dan Inosanto's book. You guys know my favorite book, the one that I show you almost every time that we're on here, the art and philosophy book, this one right here. So I told Steve that I think it's probably from the photo shoot, and then Sean Foon came along later on, and he kind of confirmed that that's exactly where it was from. So I thought what I would do is to put up a picture or two of Sifu Dan from that same book. So I looked around for some, and here's what I did, right? So I put this up. Let me let you take a look at this. I put that picture up, right? But I'll confess something to you. This is the original. And then I'll tell you why I did what I did. Okay, so this one on the, is that on the right? I don't know how you see it. But anyhow, the one where Sifu Dan is in left lead, that's the original. I flipped it around and put it up in right lead. And some of you, as soon as you hear that, you know exactly why I did that, right? Because I knew that if I put up a picture of him in left lead, somebody somewhere would have something to say about Dan Inosanto being in left lead. So I switched it around, figuring, okay, cool, now we won't get any comments on that. But we did get comments. Virtually 2 seconds after I posted the picture, somebody's like, oh, his rear hand is in the wrong position. That's not a Jeet Kune Do position. If you carry your rear hand like that, then that's not Jeet Kune Do. So that started a whole thing. I tried, before I came on, I tried to find the picture of it's a drawing from the Tao, and it shows all the different positions that the rear hand could have, right? But here was this guy talking about it's the wrong hand position, so it's not Jeet Kune Do. And it was kind of funny, some of the comments, like Mike Blesh from JKD Wednesday night, he had one of the best comments. He said that Sifu Dan, the waist on his pants was too high, so it wasn't Jeet Kune Do, right? Which is the spirit, see? Because you got to be able to have some fun with this JKD dilemma or dichotomy in which we find ourselves, because that's actually something that has always befuddled me. Like, everybody knows what karate and taekwondo is, right? So I did a presentation about a month ago for one of my clients for her university class. And, you know, so I did my experiment, which is to ask how many people are familiar with the name Bruce Lee. So 100% of the room, of course, raises their hands. So then you ask them, well, how many people are aware of how many people know what Jeet Kune Do is, right? His personal art. And 99% of the people have no idea. But you ask everybody if they know what karate is, and of course they do. You ask everybody if they know what taekwondo is, and of course they do. But they don't know who Funakoshi Gishin would be. They don't know who General Choi of taekwondo history would be. But they know the art. But in Jeet Kune Do, it's the complete opposite. They don't know anything about the art. They've never heard of the art, but everybody knows about the founder. And I guess that's the price that you pay for being celebrity or what have you, right? So it's a little bit of a mess, to paraphrase what Tommy Carruthers has said to me on occasion. And you might be thinking, and this is where I get now to the title of today's, because I could have called it the one about you and your level of Jeet Kune Do understanding, when referring to all the online Jeet Kune Do experts who love to comment on stuff. But it also refers to those of us who are deeply involved in the art. There was a time I participated in this where it was like, well, those who know don't talk a whole lot about it, right? So there was this idea that Jeet Kune Do, if you spent a lot of time trying to explain it and discussing it and what have you, then you were wasting time. That's not the way that the art was put out. And so there might be people who are still thinking that they don't want to be part of this mess. I beg to differ. I think because we have to acknowledge that there is somewhat of a mess to it. I'm not talking about a mess that can't be cleaned up at all, right? As a matter of fact, I think the more that we talk about it, because this is why we're in this situation. We didn't talk that much about it. We didn't do much to explain it in the old days. So not enough, too much was left unsaid in the early days. So in some ways, now in Jeet Kune Do, we have a lot of catching up to do, even when we realize that we have been way ahead of the pack historically. But because of, I don't even know what the expression would be, but we still have catching up to do. And that's why I think that we have to talk about it. And that pretty much is the message that I meant to convey this afternoon, right? That both your level of Jeet Kune Do could refer to your degree of understanding of what JKD is and is not, but also can refer to your level of involvement and your level of commitment to the continued advancement of Bruce Lee's art and philosophy. All right, okay, so I was gonna add to this, but we've gone 10 minutes already. So I'll do this on a separate broadcast, and it is it has to do once again with Jeet Kune Do and MMA. So I'll do that probably not next week. Next week I'm going to take next Wednesday off to celebrate Christmas, so it'll be probably on the 1st of January. But next week we will have an episode of the Jeet Kune Do Dialogues, just as we will this Friday at, but it's going to be at a special time, 8 a.m. Eastern time. I'm waking up early, right? Because I'm going to be on Jeet Kune Do Dialogues with Sifu Martin O'Neill of Jeet Kune Do Ireland. And so we have to accommodate his time zone. So that's what we'll do, right? Okay, so that's it for today. Feel free, share, like, comment, ask questions. I'll review everything after posting. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D Woods. ilovejeetkunዶ.com. The Quick Skills Series Volume 1 is still available. Volume 2 will be filmed and produced during 2020. I told you about Friday at 8 a.m. if any of you are awake and you can log in to Facebook at that time. Today's a blue day. Here's a shirt. Nice one, right? And so I'll see some of you on Friday, and then the rest of you I'll see next Friday, which would be what, the 27th, and then on January 1st we'll have another issue of the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast. Okay, that's it for today. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, signing off. Take care now.